Ready? Call this meeting to order. This is a Livingston Parish Council meeting. Today is October the 22nd, 2020, 6 p.m. It's a few minutes after 6 p.m. All right. We'll now have the invocation by Mr. Tracy Gerlinghouse.
Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all the blessings that you give us, Lord. I know that at times it seems like we just have nothing but trials as of late, but through the trials we will become stronger in you, Lord. And deep down we know that trials at times at the end can be blessings, Lord. I pray for our fellow councilman Randy Delas, who's not here tonight. Due to COVID, we pray that he has a speedy recovery, Lord. Lord, I pray for our nation, and I pray for our president and all of our leaders, Lord, that you just put a guiding hand on them and make sure they make decisions that are just and right. Lord, I pray that you take care of us each as we travel from this meeting tonight and get home to our families. Lord, in your name we pray.
Amen. All right, Gary, you want to lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Roll call.
Mr. Gerlinghouse?
Here.
Mr. Arndt?
Here.
Mr. King?
Here.
Mr. Wasson?
Here.
Mr. Talbert?
Here.
Mr. Mack?
Here.
Mr. McMorris?
Here.
Mr. Bullock? Mr. Harris?
Here. All right, now we're going to ask that everybody silence their cell phones so we don't have any interruptions during the meeting. All right, public input. Anyone wishing to address any of the agenda items is certainly welcome to do so. What we'll ask is when the agenda item comes up for discussion, you simply just raise your hand and then we'll call upon you and you can come to the podium and, state your name and address and everything for the record and we'll give you your time to talk. Yeah. All right, presentations. Do we have any presentations tonight? No presentations? All right.
Shane,
Sir.
I would like to say on presentations, we were never able to bring the Doll Girls basketball team in. They won state, but they are having a banquet tomorrow night, and I will be going to represent the council and give them their plaques from us, since it's gonna be so hard to bring them in here now under COVID.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Jeff. All right. Agenda item number 8. This is the adoption of the minutes of the October 8th, 2020 regular meeting of the Livingston Parish Council.
Motion.
Got a motion by Tracy
Second.
Gerlinghouse, second by John Wascom. Any discussion? None? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope. All right. This is agenda item number 9. This is the parish president's report. Is there?
I'm representing the parish president. Mr. Gary's gonna read this bridge thing.
Okay, here, go ahead.
Sam contacted me because they weren't gonna be here and he didn't realize Jennifer was coming. Basically, this is 20 dash what on the ordinance, on the Livingston Parish resolution? This is, for the, every year we've got to adopt the resolution for, the Louisiana Off-System Bridge Replacement Program to participate, and that's all this resolution does, is our annual renewal of our participation in the program. So what's,
You won't have a number until the minutes are done.
Okay.
The number will be
I got you.
according to the
But
letter.
basically, that's what this is for. I'd like to offer a motion that we approve this resolution so that DPW can, or the parish can contract within the program so that we'll be available for funds.
I'll second that.
Motion by Talbert to adopt this resolution, second by Tracy Gerlinghouse. Is there any more discussion on this particular agenda item? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? No? Alright. This is agenda item number 10. This is a public hearing and adoption of LP ordinance number 20-29. We'll now open the public hearing. Did one of y'all want to read that?
This is Livingston Parish Ordinance 20-29, an ordinance to create and enact Chapter 70, Utilities, Article 7, Small Wireless Facilities, Section 70-400 through Section 70-409 of the Code of Ordinances in and for the Parish of Livingston to establish standards for small wireless facilities in the rights of way in the Parish of Livingston.
Miss Stephanie Doran with AT&T and Mr. Bud Carson with Carson Nickel Governmental Relations are here tonight to answer any questions you have. I know we're all trying to get home to watch the debate, so if you don't have any questions, they're here. If you have some, we can close the public hearing and move forward. What's the wishes of the council at this time?
Let's close public hearing.
Okay.
Is there anybody here that wants to speak at this public hearing, on this public hearing? No?
I think
Any
Mr.
more discussion?
Mr. Moody's looked at the ordinance and said grace over it. We had some discussion about the revenue stream or the cost associated, you know, that the parish is gonna receive from these companies. And like we talked about in the ordinance committee and early in introduction, those fees are regulated by the federal government. These fees in the ordinance are maxed out. They're identical to the ones you read in the paper with respect to the Ascension ordinance that's being considered. So if everybody's happy, I'd like somebody to.
Let's close the public hearing.
We're gonna close it.
Oh, yeah, did y'all got the email today that Mr. Williams sent us forward that the school board
That's what I was fixing
is
to
in
say.
favor
Yeah,
of supporting this
absolutely.
deal? Because it would help them, you know, at some point in time in the future. Look,
Just get it
everything's
resolved.
moving to a different direction. 5G is the way things going. We can approve this and have the parish set up for when the ability to move forward or the money's available and these companies can come in and make the investment. So this is just really a housekeeping deal that allows them to, you know that what our ordinance is and what they'll need to do business in the parish. And so if we wanna close the meeting and
Okay, so if there's nobody here to discuss this any further, we're gonna now close the public hearing. All right. Is there a motion on the floor to adopt this ordinance?
Now, second.
Motion by Scooter King, second by Bubba Harris. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope. Agenda item number 11. This is the consideration to adopt. Good seeing y'all.
Yes, sir.
Good consideration to adopt a resolution for a waiver of section 6-30B, which prohibits the granting of an alcohol permit to a business within 500 feet of a church being located off of Lockhart Road in Council District Number 3. This is Mr. Maurice Scooter King's district.
I'd like to table that, Mr. Chairman. Talked to the real estate agent, and we're just not comfortable at this time granting a waiver to a real estate agent, not the landowner. That's who had been applying for it, right, the real estate
You
agent.
have someone here to speak on behalf of that.
Yes,
Okay, so come on up.
Yeah.
You state your name and address.
I'm Danny Turner. I live at 12211 Blackwater Road in Baker, Louisiana. I'm the landowner.
You're the landowner.
But you own the car wash.
I own the car wash.
Okay, so are you?
And the land.
Are you the man that's applying for the waiver?
I'm applying for a waiver for the site,
Okay,
a variance on the site to allow a packaged liquor license there.
for convenience.
The deal is, the property's under contract. The buyer will not close on it unless there's a variance. So the transaction can't go through because to have a convenience store, which is what he's building,
Without a liquor
so
license.
you
it
can't get
doesn't
liquor
work.
license, you
Yeah,
can't put the
sure.
cart before the horse.
Yeah,
Right? So I have a letter from the churches across the street, I spoke with them, they're like, we don't care, it's fine. I guess it's kind of a weird deal that I'm not the one with the liquor license, you know, with the store, I
Right.
don't want a convenience store, but I wanna sell the property.
right.
So, that's where we're at.
Well, I had talked to, the real estate agent.
Dale,
Yeah,
Dale.
my youth, yeah.
correct.
Just before we came in, he asked me to table it, because here's the issue. All we can waive is the 200 feet that go from the 300 feet of the state. We can't waive the state requirement of 300 feet. He didn't know, he's been trying to get in touch, get somebody to tell him, how you gonna measure this without a building in place? And so that's the major issue, is if it ends up and I grant you a waiver and you think, well, I can sell the property, and they go get the permit and then they can't get it.
Okay, so I spoke with, the attorney for the alcohol and tobacco. I have an email from her, but we went back and
Is that the
forth.
paper you have?
That's correct.
No, no,
Ken,
I just wanna make sure
Ken,
we're
Ken,
doing it right.
K-I-K.
I mean, we can do it tonight, if they kill it, then it's killed. I mean, I have no issue if, yeah. So what
Okay.
Mr. Mayhew told me is that he didn't have a purchase agreement in place, that he would have to get that done.
Wait, well, we had one, I didn't sign it because it is, because I didn't want to do
See,
the
so
deposit,
that
not
that
silly.
doesn't make it legal, so I told him to line that up, get the purchase agreement in place that's saying if we grant our waiver of the 200 feet,
Okay,
okay, then it would be okay with us. I don't, they're selling alcohol right there now.
across the
So
street, right.
across the street, and it's leaving. So I have no issue if these guys, but I can't tell you what these guys are
Uh-huh.
gonna, okay?
Typically, typically, if I'm not mistaken, the state measures from the property line to the entrance of the store, which according to this drawing, looks like it's gonna be well within the 300 feet. So I think you gotta get some clarification on state measurement.
Yeah,
before-
and that's
to-
what he
To
said
see
he
that if our
would do.
200-foot waiver is even applicable.
Okay, but, so what the attorney for the state told me, the way she explained it to me, was that the state, if the way the law's written, if the parish or the municipality doesn't have a problem with it, the state law doesn't kick in. They only enforce it when there's a local ordinance, saying that if there's not a local ordinance, the state doesn't care because there's so many different towns and municipalities throughout the state that everybody has something different.
I thought state law basically was a minimum of 300 feet, Chris, is the way I understood state law.
I can
Oh.
find the thing.
Okay, so this is
I
what the
think
letter
that's-
says right here. It says, when prohibited by, based on the attached email, section 6-30 prohibits the issuances of an alcohol permit when the premises is situated within 500 feet of a church. Under Louisiana Revised Statute 26.81, when prohibited by municipal or parish ordinance, the state is prohibited to grant an alcohol permit for any premises situated within 300 feet or less.
Correct. When it's prohibited by the local municipality. So if I get she said if I get an official variance from you guys,
Okay.
ballgame.
Mr. King, has anybody in your district?
No, because they don't know about it.
Reached
That's the
out?
problem. There's no signs, there's no anything telling the people around there what would be going on. Because it hadn't gone to planning yet. So, and they can't go to planning until they sell the property, because the guy's not gonna design the convenience store to fit there until he knows he's gonna buy the property. That's right.
So there's no notification to the general public on the
See,
waiver.
that's the issue.
Well, you got,
And Chris, you could ask that he put some notification out there before you considered this.
Well, and that definitely is the first step, but I still think, I'm under the impression that state law is 300 feet no matter where you're at.
It's written right here.
And then the parish law is an additional 200 feet that was enacted when the bar rooms were approved, after that lawsuit back in the day when we went, all our liquor laws were based on wards, and when we
Right.
got away from that, then they said our dry law weren't in place, and the council changed the distance to 500 feet back, I don't remember, 20-something years ago. It might have been the police jury at that point in time that did, I don't
Think
remember.
it was.
But I think state law, we can waive the 3 to 5. We'd need an attorney general's opinion to tell us that we can raise, I don't think we can waive the 0 to 3.
No, you can't. But he's happy if you just waive your ordinance.
So, and you've already checked that, so if we did that tonight, it wouldn't matter that it's the land, not,
Other than the fact that I
I think-
can't vote for a waiver when the general public that resides around where the waiver is doesn't know what's coming out.
okay?
So that's why I suggest is you just suggest that he put up a sign, come back after so many days you
Yeah, I
think it's
it's-
fair.
I think it's November the 12th. That would be our next meeting.
Okay.
If you could do that, then you might get some of these other guys on board. I'm okay with it.
Right.
Well, then make a motion.
Well, what kind
I'm
of,
making a motion.
what kind of
So
church is
no,
it?
Did you hear what he just
It's,
said?
Is it Baptist?
The Way Church of Denham
It's the
Springs.
Way Church.
Letters in your packet.
Well, I was trying to find it, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's right here, to whom it may concern.
Oh, what it is? Yeah. The Way Church? Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And then we have the December 3rd meeting.
Well, we could try to, how long, you have a problem putting up a sign saying what's,
I'll do whatever you guys tell me. I just want to sell that piece of property.
now, that's still not telling you that,
The things that
You're
I'm
gonna
reading,
bring
and I
it
could be wrong, but the things that I'm reading says that we can change the method, to
Measurement.
measure the lineal feet, but it doesn't,
We
it
could do
doesn't
it.
say that, you can waive the 300 feet, so I do think we need more clarification,
well, I think Mr. Chris said, what exactly did you say on the 300? That we wouldn't be waiving that, but the state's telling us something different. That if we waive our 200, they're not even gonna impose the 300.
That's what the attorney for the attorney, So when you go over there, number one, I couldn't go in because of the COVID rules.
Right.
And they're only doing things, like if you was getting fingerprinted for a firearm permit, it's the only way you could go in. So I called the lady on the phone, you know, you go through the thing. The lady didn't know. She said, you have to call our legal department, you have to email our legal department, they don't have a number, you have to email them. Okay, so I emailed the lady. When she emailed me back, the phone number was on the email. So we went back and forth for a little while, and she already talked me up a little bit. And so finally I called her, I said, listen, this is what it says, is this what it means? She goes, yes. What it means is if you get an official variance from the local, the people, the authorities, then the
Yeah.
state, it doesn't matter. She said, but I had to get an official
When it's
variance.
prohibited, no permit shall be
And this was
granted.
the attorney, the lead attorney for that department.
Yeah, read
So,
that.
Yeah, well, like I said, I don't have an issue with it. We've been selling alcohol across the street in my district right there. Well, it's my district right there for 20 years.
this is not a liquor store.
No, it's a
This is a
convenience
gas station convenience store, it's not
Right. And it's a big part of their sales is to, you can't hold it purchase.
right,
Yeah,
that's
we've
correct.
seen stores full that didn't have alcohol sales. So guys, is that something we need to put off? Would y'all be comfortable if they put up a sign showing what was planned to go there? And that's still not saying that they're gonna be able to build it right there in that roundabout.
Yeah, that's the
You know, 'cause
buyer's
the
problem.
state can still,
But, to echo Mr. Talbert's putting the sign up, I would get the requirements that whenever you're actually going to go to planning, I don't make my sign exactly like that.
yeah, the
Now,
sign, yeah,
get those requirements, make it exactly like that, even though.
yeah, like
That way
a convenience store is proposed on this
Yeah,
point,
word
whatever
it-
acre,
I
yeah.
would word the sign just like I was going.
And
for
then it
the
would be legal
permit.
when they go to planning too.
Well,
Use the same
maybe-
sign, yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
but if you can say, no one from the public can say differently, well, it was too small.
Well, they changed it, yeah.
They changed it, they just, you make it identical
think it's a
to what
4 by 8,
you've already
isn't it?
got permission, and you're going to planning, you know, you're giving a public notice.
And you,
The fact
this
that-
doesn't matter to you in one bit, you just
Yeah.
need to sell your property.
That's right.
Yeah.
I get
I
it.
have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Evidently, it sounds like the council's not gonna do a variance tonight.
Right.
Is that gonna mess you up? It's not gonna cause you to lose the purchaser of your property, is it?
I
I mean-
can't answer that.
I mean,
Technically doesn't have a purchase agreement right now.
If they-
Well,
had
he
some-
has- it sounds
we
like-
had one, I let it expire, it's like because they had a due diligence period, and I let it expire to figure all this stuff out, because I couldn't, this was part of
Sure,
it.
right.
And I was honestly, it's kind of like a gentleman's agreement, we're talking about and getting it done together. I understand the whole purchase agreement stuff and all that.
Well,
Well,
it's
we
a
just wanna
verbal.
make sure what we're doing is
Yeah.
legal.
and I've got another question. Chris, now we're talking about giving a variance for based on, but strictly off of alcohol, which is fine. My question is, we require signage for rezoning and development. Do we have anything in our law that says you have to advertise for alcohol, to get an alcohol permit?
Just on the door of the business.
On the door, I think,
Once it's built, but it's not built. See, that's the difference, is that people don't know.
Okay.
Well, and it's not, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's not that Mr. Talbert's uncomfortable doing it without at least the public having some input on this very specific matter. Not whether whether the place can be built, it's just they wants them to have a fair way of finding out that this is the
This
case.
is there. Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree with Mr. Talbert.
So if he goes and puts a sign up, like you said, the 4 by 8 like it's supposed to be, and then comes back on the 12th, do y'all have a problem issuing? Cause he's gotta find out before he can make it sell whether there'll be a variance on our 300 to 500 foot.
But we're also unclear on what the state law says, is it door to door? Is it
Well,
property line
it
to
changes
door?
on
It says the
everybody.
municipality can change it,
What-
but
what-
basically, just go from the corner of the building
To the
to
corner
the
of
nearest
the
What
corner
is
of the
our law,
property of the
how do
church.
we, what does our law say
Is it
now on
300
measuring
feet?
500
No,
feet?
it's not the one,
What does our law say now?
cause they bought a huge
About where you
lot
measure
next
from?
to
How
it,
we
too,
measure our
and now
law?
they
How does
get
our
Pretty
rid
law-
of that.
specific, it says, shall be from, the nearest point of the property line of the church,
So,
to the
so,
nearest point of the property line of the premises to be licensed.
So if that's the case, that's less than 100 feet.
yeah, so our ordinance basically says you measure from the property line to the property line.
Right.
And it's gotta be 500
And we
feet.
can't waive that.
So in essence, state says, according to the law, they measure the way the parish says. Now, we can waive the 200 feet. I think, and maybe Mr. Moody needs to do some research. my understanding is we can't waive the 300 feet.
No.
And the way we measure now is only 80 feet between the property line and property line.
He just got through telling you that if we waived it, the whole thing, the state will waive the whole thing.
Well, I
But
don't,
that's on him. I can't.
I mean, and you know,
If he gets it from the
that's,
state, he gets it from the state.
I mean, you wanna vote on it tonight, you should make the motion, get you a second.
I don't think I can get a second.
I don't think you can either, so.
I mean, I think that all of us, look, all of us feel that the public needs to know that we're getting ready to waive our ordinances to issue a liquor license. They need to know that, so that if they have a problem, they can come speak to it.
and they'll understand that you got that car wash, you got the church, and you got Carter's that's same exact distance on both the corners selling alcohol. I mean, Carter's is selling it, and
Here's the link.
No,
Yeah.
something new.
That's a drive-through.
So anyhow, so let's Shane, you wanna clarify what we want from the gentleman to do? Or you want me to,
Well, I mean,
if
it
he
should be in the, in a,
So what I'm getting though is you guys are only okay with waiving 300 to 500. So if it falls in even 80 feet, it ain't gonna happen anyhow.
Wait a second, I'm not committing to waiving anything.
Well, I
I'm just
understand.
saying
Some of you
that,
guys.
I'm just saying that
Let people
there's
know.
there's no way, if it comes up for vote right now, it's a no-vote.
Right.
Okay, that if we advertise and the general public's made aware of it and nobody comes to speak, then the 300 to 500 foot waiver is a possibility.
Okay.
But trying to supersede state law, I'm not comfortable with, and until we get that ruling, I'm only interested, the only possibility way I would vote yes is a waiver from 3 to 500.
Okay, so Mr. Chris, so is that something that you can find out for us in stone?
Oh.
Whether, if we waive the 3 to 5, it's gonna get rid of the other for the gentleman? I mean,
No, it wasn't. It would.
it wouldn't get rid
All
of it.
the state allows you to do is
So,
you
no
can do
matter
two
what-
things. The state allows you to do two things: change the measurement way, or extend the distance.
The distance.
But you can't take away the state's right to.
Okay, so what's gonna happen there is you're not gonna be able to build that there.
I mean, in essence, it looks
That's
like,
incorrect, but if y'all, that's fine, we can table, I'll do the thing, but if
But that's-
what they told me, like the attorney for the state who represents them, that's different than what she told me, when, I understand we need to
Yeah, I
clarify
think
that.
that's what she
I
told
think it's
us
fair to
too.
clarify it.
And we
but-
can clarify that and make sure, but,
But if he gets it from the state, he gets it from the state. It gets out of your hands, right?
okay, so, yeah, it'll be out of our hands anyhow. So let's do that. If you can put up the notification sign.
That's fine.
Get with planning and they'll tell you exactly, you probably have
do
the
you
sign
want,
up
do you
before.
want to say alcohol on there?
But it needs to say convenience store, so
I mean, look, you know social media, there are gonna be people watch this meeting, they're gonna talk about it, so people are gonna find out at some point in time that there's a waiver. I'm not, once this discussion is made, if we come back and visit, but I do think the sign needs to be put up, so those,
That's fair enough.
And I'm okay with waiving the 3 to 5, and then you'll have to deal with the state on whether that gets rid of the rest of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know, and then at least we've done all we could do for you as far as letting you know this is what we're okay with.
Okay.
If they come back and they should make you draw the drawing and it's 80 feet and they go, we're not doing that, we can't.
No, it's fair.
Okay.
If the state, if you get me the variance, the state, then we're good. Cool.
Okay. So
Thank you.
November 12th. Yes, ma'am.
When I talked to Ms. Payne.
Yeah, this letter?
When I spoke to her, she did say that if they would get this waiver, that by putting it in their packet, when they went to the state wouldn't reject it to come back to the local
So they
government
wouldn't-
authority for a waiver.
So they wouldn't
So
come.
that wouldn't,
Okay. Well, that helps him too. Okay.
I didn't hear that.
it just says if we grant the waiver, you'll need to put the waiver in your packet, that way they won't come back and revisit the local authority.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
good night. Okay,
Then it time.
we're gonna table that, and we're gonna move on to agenda item number 12. All right. So this is just really trying to clarify the correct spelling on a road, this is a parish road in my area. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to agenda item number 12. I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Agenda item number 12, this is to correct the official spelling of Jericho Drive or Jericho Road to Jericho Drive. And I've got another road and Hano Road to Hano Lane on the Grant Bankston Road list is registered and recorded upon the adoption of LP ordinance number 02-478 at a regular meeting of Livingston Parish Council on September the 30th, 2002. Okay. Bottom line is, I'm just trying to get the road spelled as is listed on the addresses in the 911 system, right? And so,
Which is wrong? The Bankston Road list is a list of the parish, and so the 911 wrong, or is?
911, I would say, is correct, because that's the way it is on the addresses and the way the addresses are written.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion to correct the spelling on Jericho Drive.
And Hano
Name the
Lane.
road Jericho Drive in all of our records to match the 911 system, and it's Jericho Drive.
It's not CHO on here, it's just CO on here.
No, that's the way
It's
it's
three different
spelled.
ways, but we're gonna fix it
We're
tonight.
gonna fix it to this, and we're gonna fix it to this.
I got you, I see it.
And in the same, same motion, can we go ahead and correct,
Hano Lane.
Hano Road to Hano Lane?
I'm sure we can.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's the motion I'm making.
Got a motion to do that, second by Tracy Girlinghouse. Gary made that motion. Nobody here to discuss this?
Everybody doesn't laugh, so.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope, okay.
Except for the Cadillac lady, everybody's gone.
Cadillac lady. Hey, but she's COVID free way over there, and good.
Okay, so agenda item number 13 is to adopt a resolution to request that the Department of Public Works install caution children at play signs and to reduce the speed limit on Jericho Drive located in Council District 9 from 25 miles per hour to 20 miles an hour.
Motion.
Motion by Tracy
Second.
Bellingham, second by John Wascom. Anybody here to talk about it? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Nope. All right. Agenda item 14, this is to discuss upcoming trunk or treat event at South Park. This is RC Bubba Harris. Put this on the agenda.
This will be the last time we get to discuss this year.
Good.
And our, you're not going, John?
Oh, I'm
But
getting candy for it.
Anyway, we're, we think we've got everything pretty much lined up. And all we need now is some help passing out candy
And a bunch of young,
and a bunch of youngins.
wearing masks, of course, if they
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna be left up to the parents. If the
That's
parents
right.
want them to do it, that's fine.
That's right.
And if not, hey, do it like they are. But, we're gonna have the same things. The fire trucks are gonna be there. They're gonna have the hot dogs and all this stuff.
Donated by who?
Huh?
How them hot dogs, who's donating that? Carter's Grocery.
Carter's Grocery.
Stan
Yeah.
King. Thank you very much.
Yes, indeed.
Walker High graduate.
And,
Walker High graduate, previous council person.
and another thing is too is, Jeff Taylor is also donating his, rotisserie cooker
Nice.
to cook this stuff in.
Yep.
And I've got a lot of people I could go down the list now, but we'll be here too long for that.
Well, everybody can
What's
think
the
of when
date
they
and
get.
time, but,
Date and
Date
time.
and time. All right, it's Halloween night, the 31st of October, it's on Saturday night, from 6 to 8. South Park.
sounds good.
Anything else?
No, man, it's gonna be a good time. I hope everybody comes out and sees us. Everybody's been their lives have been to really badly affected by this
Oh,
COVID
yes,
outbreak.
yes.
So it'd be good for people to get out with their families, come see the council people that are there, the firemen, and, have a good night.
I think it's gonna be great myself.
Thank you, Mr. Bubba.
All right, agenda item number 15, this is consideration to adopt a resolution establishing a citizens group to discuss a parish-wide drainage plan. We're gonna table that to the next meeting. Agenda item number 16, this is committee reports. Ordinance committee?
We met.
No report?
No report.
No report. All right. Finance committee?
We had a finance committee meeting. Ms. Jennifer said that she's gonna give us our, rough draft of the budget at the next meeting. Cause it was,
I think she's gonna introduce it.
yeah, she's gonna
The
actually introduce
regular
it.
budget.
So that, we'll have it on the next one because of the times being changed a little bit on the dates. Taxes all still looking good, everything holding strong.
Very good. Good.
Everything's rocking and rolling.
On our way back uphill.
Yep.
Nice. All right, district attorney report, agenda item number 17.
Yeah, two things. One, Angie needs to know about 11. Was there a formal motion to table that?
Yeah, I did, I asked him to table.
Okay. The other thing is, I want to say, personally, I want to thank everyone for the prayers they said for me. As many of you know, I had to have an additional eye surgery on my left eye because the first one failed. But we got a pretty good result. It's not perfect, but I'll take it. So I'm very thankful for the skillful hands of the surgeon. I'm thankful for all the prayers, and I'm thankful for the friends like you, and that God gave us 2 eyes. So
Oh,
Yes.
thank God.
Depth
That's
of
right.
perception. I'd like to say something real
Go
quick.
ahead, go
I
ahead,
promise
John.
mine's quick.
No, I think this is good.
Chris, I want to say, and I think I speak for the council as well, we are honored to have you sitting on this council. You mean so much to us, and you really bring a level of professionalism to this parish council. I think that
well, thanks. It's my pleasure to be
unsurpassed.
here.
Yeah.
I thank the world of all of you. Thank you.
I want to say one thing. I want everybody to remember they got a presidential debate tonight between President Donald Trump and the big guy.
The big guy.
The big guy.
All right.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Councilman comments, have we been through councilman comments?
No, we have not.
That's it.
We have a major election coming up, guys, not just the president. The future of our road programs, our DPW program is up in the air on November 3rd. Our 1 cent sales tax renewal that helps fund the jail, the maintenance and running of the jail, and 3/4 of that cent goes to fix all these roads, drainage, bridges. This is a very important tax, and we ask for your support. Please get your people out to go vote yes for this. We need it badly. We can plan for the future if we have this in place. It helps with all our matching funds and everything else that we get. Jennifer talked about a huge grant that we're getting. And it's gonna be one that they send us the money. We don't have to spend it and then get it back. They're gonna send us a check.
Nice.
So
Sweet.
those things are important, guys. Get your people out to vote.
All right. Agenda item number 19 is adjourned. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Jeff Ard, second by Bubba Harris. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
So
That might